Hey Feathers, welcome to the 3-digit sub special. I'm glad to see you here. Today we're doing something kind of like the Realism Challenge. If you're not familiar with the Realism Challenge, it's basically where you just take an object from reality and try to match it to the best of your ability. If you've seen my content, you'll likely already know that I don't do realism, both for animation purposes, but also just in single drawings. I'm not particularly good at it, but that's what art's for, right? To improve. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm doing a Vanitas still life drawing, which, unlike your typical fruit in a bowl still life, it typically has more dead plants and skeletons and whatnot. It reminds us that we're all mortal, life comes to an end, and more importantly, that each day and decision matters. I think it's really important during quarantine to keep this in mind, that even though the days are passing and it feels like you can't achieve anything sometimes, that your choices do matter. And every moment that you're alive is a blessing. That's what art's for, at least for me. It's to remind myself these life lessons and have a little fun at it too. On the technical side, I'm using Sketchbook by Autodesk, as well as my Wacom tablet. I use both these programs in my typical animation. Occasionally I will try to use Photoshop for maybe one frame for certain effects. I've recently had access to Adobe Animate, so maybe I'll be messing around with that in the future. Only time will tell.
His senses and time perception are distorted. He becomes confused, and he displays irresponsibility and...
First time I did a still life type drawing was in my high school art class. We were using acrylics and canvases, so that was nice. I still have the painting for it. I quite like it actually. But that's what originally introduced me to the concept, and frankly I do very much like this type of drawing. It's very relaxing, albeit a little bit macabre, but I think that adds to its charm. I am a fan of acrylic. I do like how you're able to mold it and just overlap it when you make a mistake. I do make quite a few mistakes, I have to say. You'll see a couple of my markings later on. I do mess up quite a bit, and that's alright. That's happy little accidents. They give your piece character and make it so you can't replicate it again. It's part of the beauty of art and this whole fleeting nature idea. I started this channel not too long ago, about 6 months, and the amount of growth that I've already seen is quite tremendous. And I'm so happy for it, considering I don't have that many videos out, and animation takes so long. So I'm glad to see people are enjoying the content. I have more animations planned in the future, and if you've been keeping your eye on my channel page, you'll likely see a little bit of reorganization being done. On the home page, there's a collaborators section for people I've worked with. you've seen the God Hunter animatic with the original characters, those belong to my friend Ice Phoenix. He's a pretty cool dude. His content's not quite what you'd expect, I'd have to say. His consistency is about as good as mine. But still charming nonetheless. Same with my friend Shirley Draws. She's been working with me for a number of different things. We've done the animation collaboration on the How You Like That Avatar: The Last Airbender animation meme, which is quite fun. And she also is going to do some voices in an upcoming video. Some recent projects I've started include a webcomic titled Alchemist's Apprentice. You can find this on Tapas, or you can find a couple sketches and a little bit of the intro arc in my Instagram. I'm going to try to keep up with this webcomic in addition to this channel, but I'm very excited for it. The comic focuses on our protagonist, Spriggs. He's a demi-boy, he's both he and they, 16, and his dream is to become an alchemist. When he meets the famed thrice-cursed alchemist Florence Ayeda, things take a turn, and nothing is quite what it seems. It's a slice-of-life fantasy adventure comic, very down-to-earth, very chill. Something I try to do with both my writing, my comics, as well as my animation, is make sure they're as inclusive as possible and try to represent as many people as I can. That's part of the reason I'm going to try to continue pushing myself to do new things and hopefully expand my skill set. So I'm very excited for some of the new things coming up. Go back to the channel page. You'll see the Miraculous Animatics. You'll see a handy little tag that says 2 out of 12. You may think, oh, Flynn, well, that just means you're gonna do 10 more. And you know what? You'd be absolutely right. I had a plot idea using the one-shot characters from Miraculous Ladybug for about 2-3 years now, right after the first season when I realized there was going to be no plot to the show. I read through all the original material and I was so inspired. The base characters I thought were fantastic and full of personality and so interesting, and conflicting motives, there is so much I could do with it. And after seeing the success of the Miraculous Office AU, fantastic series, I'll link it in the description, I decided to tackle this project. Unfortunately, I will not be doing these episodes in order, as they will just be mostly animatics with maybe a couple voiced comics, we'll see. It'll be exciting nonetheless. I do have a plan, but I am trying to do them in a different order. Something I've already noticed with my animation, and you'll probably notice this as well, is I have significant style consistency problems. It's very hard for me to draw the characters the same way for 100, 200, 500 frames. So I doubt I can possibly do that over the course of 12 animatics. My goal here is by doing them in a different order, publishing them in a different order, so that not only will the mystery be left on for a little while longer, is that the style would look somewhat consistent throughout. These rocks took me so long to figure out. It took over 6 hours, I want to say. I ended up having to finish them without being recorded. I didn't even plan on doing a speed paint for this until I finished drawing both of the skulls, the otter and the beaver skull, which I've named Fred and Martin. I also didn't include drawing the backgrounds, and I missed some details of the keys at the very end. This drawing took about as long as expected, I'd want to say, but it was still about 6 months. But that's okay. It's all about stretching your limits and trying new things. If you haven't already read my channel page, the introduction, or the about section actually, you might not know a couple things about me. My name's Flynn. I am a college student majoring in architectural engineering. I am agender, using both they and them pronouns. We'll see how well my voice conveys that. And I'm a storyteller, I have to say. I love reading and drawing and bird watching and listening and learning about the world. And every piece of media that I encounter, every piece of literature, of art that I make, I always try to reflect reality, because reality, that's where you derive all your inspiration from. It's incredible and amazing and fluid and just inspires me to make more and produce more. I'm still trying to figure out where I am on the romantic spectrum, but otherwise I do believe I'm asexual. Of course, there is no reason to run to a label anytime soon, unless if you feel comfortable describing yourself that way, but I am trying to keep this channel as a safe space for everyone. We'll see what happens with my animations in the future, as there is really no plan other than those 10 more animatics. If you're here because of the Welcome to Ba Sing Se animatic, I'm sorry, I don't think I'm gonna do another one of those. Or, let's see, the Demon Slayer animation meme? It was just that. It was literally just a meme that I animated. I know no one likes it, except some people who very much do like it. Same with the Six of Crows, the other Six of Crows animatic I did with the bad lip reading. I try to get a little goofy here. I'm not very serious. And I'm not really pressuring myself to get it right or get it perfect or anything like that. If you want to collaborate on something, or if you have an idea for a video, I'd love to hear it. Because frankly, I really do have no idea why any of you are subscribed. But that's alright. We'll just get a little silly together. It'll be fun. I hope you all enjoy the final piece. It's been lovely seeing you, Feathers.